Okay, this is shocking, but 9 out of 10 people don't know what the term BMR stands for. And yet, it's probably the most important number that you need to know outside of your blood pressure, cholesterol. Your BMR is your basal metabolic rate. And that number is so vital if you're ever going to get to normal weight and to maintain that weight long term. And actually to optimize your health. So BMR, basal metabolic rate, what is it? Your BMR is the rate that you burn calories at rest. That's what your body needs to just operate. We're talking about all the system that your body needs, whether it be running your heart, all your organs, everything. Now, if you sit in front of the TV and watch Netflix all day and binge watch, and you don't do much physical activity, your BMR is your body at rest. That's if you're not doing activity. If you're doing normal activities, you're only looking at a slight bump in how many calories you're expending outside of your BMR. If you just do basic things like doing housework, doing laundry, running around, maybe doing a few things, maybe at work if you have not a physical labor job. So BMR. Now, why is it so important? Let's break it down for weight management, weight loss. But just for overall knowledge, you need to know this number, and it's real simple to calculate. I'm going to show you how in a second. It helps determine how many calories you need to maintain your current weight. So not just for weight loss, but maintain your current weight. So everybody, even if they got to normal weight, still needs to know their BMR, right? Helps you create a deficit. If you want to get into a weight loss program, you really need to know what that deficit is. And because if you don't know where you're at, then how you gonna shoot below that, right? It's so important. It's gonna help you avoid crash diets, because if your BMR is here and you're way down here, it might not be very healthy. So you have to be careful there. It's gonna help you lose weight in a sustainable way, because you're gonna probably be approaching your BMR with if you know what your BMR is, your intake is going to be kind of matching that plus your activity level. And you want to stay slightly below it, because if you go above it, guess what? You gain weight. For every 3,000 calories you consume over, you gain a pound. So that's kind of interesting. It's a personalized approach to weight management. You can't just say to somebody, hey, you need to drop, you need to get to 1,500 calories. Well, if their BMR, is 2,000, that's great. That's 500 a week, or 500 a day times 7 is 3,500. They'll lose weight. If their BMR is up there around 2,000 and they're going to eat a 1,500 calorie diet, but you have to know the number. So important. So how do you do this? It's calculated really simply. You can just take somebody's height, weight, and then their age. And there's something called, this is something that they call a Harris-Benedict formula. And I can give you all the numbers and have you plug them in. It's based on centimeters and it's based on kilograms. It's great. Instead, in the description of this video and in the blog I just did, it's called Burn Baby Burn, how your BMR can help you achieve weight loss goals. Now, in this blog, there's going to be some links to a BMR calculator. And also on my website, not on my website, I'm sorry, on my YouTube channel, Rxhealthyhabits, there's a BMI calculator all the way down the bottom on links. But when you get this blog at rxhealthyhabits.com, you can go right there and do it. So why is this so important? Because it's so vital to know this number. But here's the thing. There's a formula that I want to teach you that I'm going to go into more detail on this in some other videos that BMR fits in. And once you see where it fits in, you'll understand why it's so important. Your total energy expenditure, which you put out every day, is equal to your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, plus your physical activity, PAL, plus the thermic effect of food. Now, the thermic effect of food is things that may help it's when you eat certain foods, your body has to work harder to digest them, maybe some hot foods, sometimes spicy foods, but typically that's a smaller number. The big one is the BMR, of course. That's what your body needs at rest to run your body, run all your bodily functions, all your organs. Your PAL, though, your physical activity level, now that is a number you can alter because your BMR is pretty much the same. That's going to change a little bit based on your weight and your height, which doesn't change. If you're an adult, your height doesn't, but your weight can. But your PAL, your physical activity level, can change. And that's, I think, where the secret is going to be. Once you get to normal weight, to maintain it is going to be your physical activity level. But anyway, I just wanted to make sure you understood that. And so go and calculate your number. Get to know what it is. Mine is 1486, which means I'm about 1,500 calories. So if I'm eating 2,000 calories a day, typical American diet would say, and my BMR is 1,500, if I have a very sedentary day and only end up doing maybe 200 or 300, maybe 400, doing daily activities like walking at work and maybe simple activities, nothing strenuous, I might be up to 1,900. So you see what I'm talking about? I'm about, with a typical diet of having 600 calories for lunch, 600 calories for dinner, maybe a 300 calorie breakfast. What am I up to there? 1,500, a couple snacks, there I am. I'm right at that number. So you can realize that once you know your BMR, you'll be a lot more careful. Now, people say, well, how do I know what's in a lot of foods I eat? Well, that's where you got to get a little smarter. You got to start looking at what the caloric content is on the back of a package, but also there's a lot of good softwares out there where you can look up what's in some of the foods you're eating, and it is surprisingly scary. Sometimes when you think you're eating something healthy and you look at the calorie content, the protein, carbs, and fat, and some of the other macros, you're like, holy mackerel. I can't believe how much I'm eating here when I do this. So real quick, one last thing. Weight loss in a sustainable way. Well, at RX Healthy Habits, we have a whole pathway for that if you want to get to normal weight. But it's real simple. There's just some tenets here I want to talk about. And these are just generalizations. But you want to lose about 1 to 2 pounds per week. So once you know your BMR, if you're trying to get to normal weight, shoot for a goal of 1 or 2 pounds per week. That's what the experts say is really doable and also sustainable. And you really want to do that, sanely. But 1 or 2 pounds a week is pretty much average for somebody who's serious. Whole foods, nutrient-dense foods are always better than high glycemic. I don't like diets where you have to have just one food group that you're eating and you're eliminating other food groups. It's better to have a balance. If you're going to do anything, you're probably going to go lower glycemic, lower carbohydrate, not as carbohydrate-rich things, more vegetables, obviously, and lean meats. Get enough sleep. You can't believe how that can impact your weight, but it can. It's huge if you're not getting enough sleep, and then stay hydrated. So there you have it. Those are just some tips on why BMR is so vital. Find your number out. It's going to change the way you approach weight loss and weight management. And as always, if you need help, come to us at RX Healthy Habits, and we can really put you on a path. If you need to do some things now to get to normal weight, we know how to do that. But also, if you just want to maintain and sustain where you're at, we got a lot of good videos, a lot of good blogs on how to do that. So we're here for you. So until next video podcast, stay healthy.